Hello everybody, I'm Roxy and this is Wreck Me BS. So as I've told you, I've been traveling through Europe, having the time of my life. It's coming to an end, sadly, but we're finishing it off with Ireland, Dublin to be more precise. And guys, you know, I love Irish literature and Irish history and I'm so damn happy. It's a beautiful country and it has great bookstores. So it's a great selection. It's mostly Irish. It's one book that's not Irish. So let's start with them. I went to Chapters, which by the way, is an awesome bookstore. One of the best secondhand selections since Strand probably, and great prices overall. The first book is A Wild Swan by Michael Cunningham. Michael Cunningham is the author of The Hours, which I really enjoyed. This one is a short story collection which is a retelling of several classic fairy tales. The edition is also very beautiful. It's illustrated by Yuko Shimizu, which I know by name and I've seen some of her illustration and her style is really great. Okay, from now on, only Irish books, so there we go. So continuing on with Chapters, I got Town and Country, New Irish Short Stories. I have a good selection of Irish short stories, but either they are all women or they are classic short stories. This is more contemporary and they are edited by Kevin Barry, who I really love. Then I have The Cripple of Englishman by Martin McDonagh. This beautiful edition. I love these Bloomsbury editions where they show like the actors. I have Peter and Alice in this same edition and I love it. This it says, I shouldn't laugh at you, Billy, but at Will. And that quotation just, it made me laugh and I said I had to read this. House of Name by Colm Tobin. So I haven't read any Colm Tobin. And with this, I have 4 of his books. But I've read and listened to a lot of interviews by him. He has done great stuff and honestly, I've taken a leap of faith. Anyways, House of Names is a retelling of the Electra, Agamemnon and Orestes myth, which I actually studied last year in college. So I think it's very interesting to see this new take. And this was also so cheap because it's secondhand, but it's like new. And again, that makes me so happy. The Testament of Mary, this is, I think like speculative, but what happened to Mary after Jesus was dead, I am not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. It's very short, but I've heard it packs a punch, so I'm very interested in knowing how it will pan out. Then I have Dark Lies the Island by Kevin Barry, and this is a collection of his short stories. Although I do love Beetlebone, and I'm so eager to read City of Bohane, I've heard he's a better, even better short storyteller, so... Then I have Mephisto by John Banville. I haven't read any John Banville. There was a lot and I had to choose. I really loved this cover. I really like that it's a Faust retelling, so that I enjoyed. I don't know much about this book. I hope I love it. Then I went to Book Market. It's a small secondhand bookshop. It also has games like video games. I found Patty Clarke, Ha Ha Ha, which also was in Chapters, but at Book Market it was actually cheaper. It's not oriented to middle grade, but it's like middle grade age kids, and it's about like friendship, and it's very like boy fiction, and that can be really hit or miss for me, but I'm interested. I've heard really great things about this one. There were like 3 for 2 at this like chain bookstore that starts with an E. I'm going to link the link down below as well as all the books. Anyways, this is called My Father's Wake, How the Irish Teaches How to Live, Love and Die by Kevin Tools. And I've gathered that, yeah, he's a filmmaker and writer. His father passes away and he reflects upon his wake, but also on the Irish wake as a whole social practice. And I love things that are so specific, but are also so general. Then I got 1,001 things you need to know about Ireland, and I like this because it's quite random, but it's also like very simple. It has these chunks and I really enjoy sort of like very list-like nonfiction that you can really remember facts, and I like trivia and that sort of thing. It talks about history and people and culture nowadays and in the past, I think it might be awesome. And then I also got In White Ink by Elske Rahil, and this is a collection of short stories about motherhood. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, and I wouldn't have bought it except that I started reading it at the bookstore, and the first story, like, I really enjoyed. I also got After the Fall by Brian Kirk, which is a poetry collection. These ones I bought at Dubray. The Beauty Queen of Leenane by Martin McDonagh, and this is a play where there is like this 40-year-old woman who has a really possessive and exhausting mother, and I think the 40-year-old woman is about to get married or engaged, and of course the possessive mother doesn't want her to, and so she brings her down. I think that's the plot. It sounds super interesting. It's also very short, and it has a long introduction, so it's even shorter. Then I have Ireland, the autobiography, 100 Years of Irish Life Told by Its People. This one is last century, so 20th century, and it's also a collection of several instances and several authors. It's edited by John Bauman. And then my currently reading, well, when I upload this video, it won't. But anyways, Days Without End by Sebastian Barry. Last year, I read The Secret Scripture, and I absolutely adored it. Then I found out that Days Without End, that is promoted as a Western. You get the feeling from reading here that it's going to be about two partners in arms going to fight, and it's going to really be like a war cowboy book, and it's really not. It's like coming of age story about two gay cowboys. So there you go. I wouldn't mind that the homosexual aspect wasn't mentioned here if it wasn't focused on that as much, because I do believe that not every single queer story needs to be advertised as such. I do think we need to incorporate it more into like mainstream. But in this case, it's really basically the plot. It's a coming of age story, so I think why wouldn't you mention it? Anyways, read it. The hype is justified. The voice in here is so accomplished. I'm not really like that far into it, but I'm loving it. So those are all the books, and I finally finished buying books, and so I'm going to start reading the books that I bought, and I'm so happy because last year I bought lots of books, and so it's time to read them. That's it. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope I can manage to fix the audio, and I'm sorry about like this thing here that's not very pretty, but it's what I've got to work with. So anyways, if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Videos here. See you next time. This one is called My Father's Wake, How the Irish... Okay. Last year, I read The Secret Skip...